people. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Back to season 2. And I'm really excited about this episode because today I will be on the hot seat. I'm not the one asking questions. And who better to put me on the hot seat than two of my favorite people on the planet? Woobie and
Yeah.
Nausheen are in the building. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
So
So,
ex
and if you're just joining the episode for the first time, this is actually a great episode to start with. If you've been rocking with Rooted and Rising since season 1, thank you so much. That means everything to me. So, in this season, we're going to go a little deeper. We're going to get a little real. And of course, we're kicking it off with a personal conversation with my friends. So, letting you all get to know me a little bit better. And just a little intro for Whoopi and Nosheen. They have known me for about 20 years. So they've seen me at my highest and they've also seen me in some of my lowest moments, especially this past year. So they know the real story, they know the tea. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. No filter. And yeah, let's get into it, ladies. You want to say hi?
Hey,
Why y'all shy?
I'm Woobie. I'm Nausheen. Hi, guys. Glad to be on here.
Okay, okay. And fun fact, Notion and I actually were podcasting together for a very long
Mhm.
time. Like, well, a long time ago.
And also before podcasting became cool.
Before it became a
We
thing.
were friends, but we just kinda
We let it
lost
die,
with someone
unfortunately.
next to me,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
We were podcasting as far back as like 2014. So
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
that in mind, guys. So yeah, welcome to the show. You guys want to kick us off? I'm in the hot seat, so I'm just gonna be quiet.
We love it. Going back to history, I was their number one fan even back then, and I still am. This is
Oh,
true.
this is true. This is true.
But every bit of it. They finally did it. They convinced me to do a whole podcast with them and on video, which they know I love so much. And this is a little preview of how they treat me, just so everybody knows.
What? Treat you
Dynamic.
like the queen you are. All right. What's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
all the
I
time?
mean, that's how I knew it. We should want to be on video all the time, you know? But taking us back into why we're here today to get to know Chioma a little deeper. So, as Chioma said, we have known you for 20 plus years now, and we're kicking off season 2. So, welcome back. What took you so long to come back? And, what made you say it's time to kick off season 2?
Honestly, I don't even know if I like I so let me pause. I started the first season kind of like I had this idea of what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to have conversations with people and get to know them better beyond their job titles and all those kind of things. And then, life took over. I did record a number of episodes. I'm very thankful to the guests that I had last season. I think this season I'm trying to figure out where I want to go with the podcast, if I want to be serious or if I want to be a little jokey jokey. And in between that, you all know a number of different things were happening between last season and now. So, and we can get into that as well. But that obviously took a bit of my time as well. So, yeah, we're back now. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping at least just to continue to chat with people. That's really the point of it. That's something that I enjoy doing. So having a podcast and a medium to do that is basically the ultimate goal.
Awesome. So you've done quite a few interviews on the first season. What was one thing that you learned from first season or someone that really inspired you? What was that one thing?
Don't want to pick favorites, but I think
Nervous, but things that
no, I
stood
think
out.
a number of them were really, really I will say this, I really appreciate people being like very vulnerable and sharing things on a public platform about, I had a friend talk about losing his mom as a teenager and how that was, that really shaped who he became. I had somebody else talk about unemployment and how that's also shaped kind of her life right now. Someone else talked about being a mom and being a career person. So there's many different things, right? But I think for me, maybe the number one thing is just the vulnerability from everyone that shared their stories and how they were so open. And, I had people talk about, somebody talked about like some medical issues that she had. So yeah, I wouldn't say that there's a favorite one. Even had my mom, which is cool. Like I actually think it was pretty cool that I got to record with my mom and kind of hear some aspects of her, like growing up, even asking her questions about like dating when she was
Mhm.
young and
Yeah,
dating my
that's
dad. Like those are the kind of things that you don't really see women in her age really talking about, right? So you
yeah,
know that history. So that was cool for me as well. So I would say those things were maybe the things that stood out.
yeah. And also, like, having an insight, right? Because like, you never know unless you ask these questions to your mom of, like,
Right.
what her life was, right?
Right.
That's
Right.
really cool. That's
Yeah, because we
awesome.
always just envision like, oh, our parents just met and they
Yeah. Just yeah, exactly. Or
just
they
met
just
and it
like,
made
they're
us
more
so
life
then that was good.
beyond being our parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was like there was all these other things like what was the life potentially that you didn't live because you made these decisions instead.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that we're all gonna deal with or we're all dealing with, to be honest. So yeah.
Yeah, hearing her journey was definitely a real eye opener.
Yeah.
Episodes that stood out to me for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you mentioned a little bit about life happening and things happening personally, but like, what were you doing while you were gone, and was any of it intentional?
Yeah, so while I was gone, I think I talked a little bit about the really starting the podcast was really me having some kind of project that I was working on while I was navigating, looking for a new role, looking for a new
Mhm.
job, figuring out what my next steps were in terms of my career. In between all that, I got engaged, got married. So a lot of
Yeah,
God. So a lot of the time of the past 6 months has been spent, like, planning a wedding or planning the wedding, so that took up a significant amount of time, plus still looking for work, plus,
yeah, life.
so life. So, yeah, so that's what I was doing, and you guys were part of the big day, so
Yeah, and it was beautiful. We got to
yes.
be an honorary Nigerian for a day. For sure.
It was a good time, and those of
Beautiful.
you on social media have seen plenty of pictures and videos. You've been inundated. So, yeah.
As it should be. So, jumping in and diving deep, this question really took me for a pause. Thinking back to our college days and when we first met, and how I envisioned your life to be and where you are now. So, I will say, I didn't have like a clear picture of what like career path you would take. I just knew whatever it was, it would be a leadership role and you would make an impact. And I will say, I definitely see that even from back in our college days, how you founded ASA and now all of the impact you've made into the different communities that you've worked in. I would say you're doing an amazing job and can't wait to see where you continue further.
Oh, why are you gassing me up?
Because it's true. It's very true. That is the truth.
So
So
I go ahead, Nosheen.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say because I think, well, one, thank you, Whoopi. Two, I think it's interesting to hear that, right? Because I think that I've been somewhat intentional about doing leadership things. Like I know that it's a muscle that I have, and so I try to exercise that muscle as much as possible because I know that it's something that I'm good at. Now, the past year has been a struggle of not being able to like exercise that muscle really. And I don't know how to explain it outside of just the workplace because you can be a leader in different ways. You can be a leader in your home, you can be a leader, among your friends or whatever. But maybe because I've mostly done it in the workplace. And so not having that workplace as a setting has been like a really big struggle. Despite that, the fact that I still do like extracurricular things, like I'm still on boards and I still do like little things here and there, but I just feel, like what you're saying, it makes sense. And I feel like maybe part of the difficulty of the past, couple of months or whatever has been not having that outlet to like
Mhm.
really like do the thing that I feel like I'm so good at.
You enjoy, yeah.
So that's
Mhm.
that's the so that's part of the struggle there. But I appreciate that, will be. It's very sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also don't think you should say little things that you've done here and there. I mean, you spoke at a college course, like, that is not something little. Yeah. The
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
workshop that
And
you
I know
participated in, like, don't downplay that. Yeah,
I know I
I was
shouldn't. I
yeah.
shouldn't. I
You
shouldn't.
should. Those are also again, you said that, right? Like, leadership is in many different ways, and even, like, amongst us friends, I feel like you have a very influential like, you influence us in, like, making decisions or, like, when you're working hard and you're doing things and you're going through things, it also inspires us to sort of look at that and be like, "Oh, wow," like, "this is something that I also wanna be doing." So, like, you are inspiring in more ways than you may even think or know. So, don't think that that's not a muscle that you're still flexing, you are, it's just in a different
In
capacity
a
to
different
begin
way.
with.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just a different yeah.
yeah. No, that's a
Um,
good point.
yeah. With that being said, Chima, what so I'm gonna kinda piggyback off of what Whoopi asked and kinda, like, shift the question. Again, we've known you for 20 years now. Do you think that this is where the trajectory of what you had imagined back in college to where you are now? And if you know, how is it different?
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Mhm,
I don't know if I think I had a or I have a somewhat large vision for my life. I
mhm,
am someone that is I'm an ambitious person, right? So if there's something that I want to do, if I don't want to do it, it'll take me a little while to get it done. But if it's something that I say I
mhm.
want to do, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So, and I think I've always believed that I was meant to do something meaningful, something that lasts, and being in the part that I am in right now that no one really talks about, which is kind of like that in between part, like
Mhm,
it's like the chapter before something else takes place. When I think about like 16-year-old Chioma at University of West Georgia freshman year, no, I didn't actually think I would be where I was now. And not because I thought I was going to be like, I was going to be the CEO of whatever, whatever. I
mhm,
didn't envision the kind of valley that I'm in now. But at the same
mhm.
time, it's funny because I don't know, like I'm not even trying to be like philosophical right now. But I think
Good,
but I
yeah.
think that I when I think back to that time, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I knew that I was going to be a leader. I knew that I was someone that was going to do things that would be important. I knew that I would, meet people and make friends with all kinds of different people and all I knew I was going to do all those things. But
Yeah.
in terms of where I am right now, no. I didn't think that I would be where I am now. Honestly, I don't even know where I am, to be honest. Not geographically, not geographically, but like in the trajectory of life. I Again, because I'm in the in between, right? And I'm only talking career wise. If I talk about
Yeah.
life beyond career and like partnership and friendship, amazing. Like I think that, I have a wonderful network of people and friends. I have a great village, I think, and a family.
Mhm.
Like I think that that's maybe the number one important thing, right? And then obviously, like I have a great partner, and that is something that is a huge asset, for me. So, but I just think that because we spend so much of our lives, like when we're little, it's like, what are you going to be when you grow up? Right. That's literally the question that people always ask you. And I feel like now that I'm grown up, it's still not clear. Like
Yeah.
there's still this feeling of anything could change at any moment. And that's just life.
Mhm.
But I think that that's where I can't really answer the question, Osheen. Like I just
Yeah.
that, yeah, I'm where I am. That's
Yeah,
basically it.
yeah. I feel like that's one thing as children, we were never taught it's okay to evolve and not to know. You don't
Mm,
have to do this one thing.
yeah,
Like, you don't need to work to one specific thing only. You can continue to evolve as your life changes,
as you're
as
growing.
you're
Yeah,
growing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that there's a number because I've been chatting with like, friends and stuff that people kind of like checking in post wedding. And everyone is kind of like,
Mm.
wow, like maybe it's a blessing that you didn't have enough time, like you weren't working
Yeah.
time to plan this amazing wedding, blah, blah, blah. And then like you had time to like really, really like connect with your partner. You had time to do all these different things that maybe if you were working full time, you may not have had
May not have been possible. Yeah.
possible. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah,
And
maybe. Or maybe that's what we're just telling ourselves.
I mean, like, I think half of life is like we're just kind of pacifying ourselves for
Right.
whatever season of life that we're in, right? It's
Yeah.
the reason why I asked you that question is because when Whoopi said her perception of when you were 16 to when you were gonna be now, I was thinking about, like, what did I think Chima was gonna be, and, like, is Chima there now? And I was like, I really don't know because it's a hard question to answer, right? Like, because when we were in
Yeah.
college trying to figure out our majors and, like, going from biology to psychology to nursing to all of these things, like,
Yep.
I think it was just an oppor like, I don't know either, like, just like you,
But I think, and maybe this is us being very like tunnel vision in the sense that we're
mm,
only imagining careers. Because if you're thinking about the
yeah,
core, like the core of a person, has the core of that person changed? Are they still kind? Are they still super friendly? Are they still welcoming?
I see what you're saying.
Uh, are they still ambitious? Are they still the person that people like reach out to for questions or help? Like those kind of things
Mhm,
don't really have to do with your profession, right? But I think because
Yeah.
we live in a country that really, really focus not just country, in a world that really
Mhm.
focuses on what you do,
Yeah.
and what you do tends to define who you are.
Yeah.
And
And our cultures also.
yeah, and our cultures are like that as well. It's like
Mhm.
the people ask you, "What do you do?" And that's kind of how they frame and shape who you are in their own mind. And so I think that that's why we tend to like flux everything together. But if it's that,
Yeah.
is Chioma the same person from freshman year biology that used to wear hats and sweatshirts and flip flops in the winter? I don't know. Probably. I think for the most part, she is. I think for the most part.
Yeah. I think the essence is still the same. It's just
Yeah.
like, what happens around you in life kinda changes how you navigate those situations, but the essence of the person that you are is
Yeah.
always the same,
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Alright,
Look at
well, go ahead.
no, I said, "Look at us." Okay, go ahead.
I know, right? Okay, so now we're gonna say some things about you, and you have to tell us if it's still true since we are talking about evolution and, what we were like and how what you were like and how you progressed. So let me go to my hey, you wanna go ahead and start? Okay, go ahead. Okay, all right. So back in college, there was a time period where you wanted to be a diplomat. Is that still true?
I feel like I'm a diplomat, but not a professional diplomat. I'm just a diplomat in life.
You're just a diplomatic person?
I'm
You
just
just
a
met
diplo
too many people.
I just a
I love
diplomat
that.
in life. That's just it's really hard being a diplomat, to be honest, because you have to be like in the middle all the time. This is like
Yeah,
Whoopi knows, like Libra, whatever.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
things have to be balanced. And there are some situations where things are not balanced and you're like you're wrong. But I just feel like
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
but I always feel this need to be oh,
Which
there has to be some level of like equilibrium or whatever. So
which is honestly speaking, with the 2 of you being my friends for so long, is
I know.
somewhat frustrating to me because it's really hard because y'all never make a decision. It's always like,
Mhm.
it never works like this or that. It's never like, "Oh, I want this," or "I don't want this." Both being Libras and having a very balanced equilibrium, whatever, diplomatic personalities was always a little frustrating for me because I would always end up being vocal or having an opinion because it was either one way or another. So, like, just throughout our friendship of 20 years, please change a little bit in that regard. Okay, thank you.
No,
Like, we talk
I think we
and
have. I think that there are some situations that will cause you to be vocal and say, okay, this is no, we're not doing this. But there are some
Mhm.
times where I'm just of the opinion it's not that serious. Like, is this going to change the trajectory of my life or whatever is going to happen? Not really. So it's like, is it a temporary inconvenience that I just have to deal with and get over it and like I'm not going to care tomorrow? Then yeah.
But are you still obsessed with Trevor Noah?
Oh my God. I don't think I was ever obsessed with him. I thought you were going to say Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, or
Um,
Anderson Cooper actually. Yeah, Anderson Cooper would have been better one.
I think I like Trevor Noah, but I don't think I was like obsessed with him. I just thought he was very smart.
I think there was a point though that you were.
I feel like we
Really?
both were in a
Yeah.
season where
I think we were like in a
yeah.
season of like, oh, Trevor's so funny. But now when I listen to his podcast, I just think, wow, he's quite intelligent and
Yeah.
and the way he thinks, yeah, the way
Yeah.
he thinks is very, it's like refreshing to hear people think
Yeah.
in a little different way. Because I also feel like in America, we tend to have very similar
Yeah.
thought
We
processes.
mhm.
And I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when you go, because there's some things he'll say, and I'll say, oh, wow, like that's interesting because he has this kind of outsider perspective, immigrant perspective,
Mhm.
which I feel like I'm somewhat losing. 'Cause I've been here so long. But I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's why I like him. But in terms of even Anderson Cooper, I'm not even that obsessed with him anymore, to be honest. I used to be. Maybe after I met him and he shook my hand.
I think that
The magic wore off.
yeah,
Yeah.
this has happened now. I didn't realize.
Maybe that's what it is. It's when you finally like met
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
"Oh, he's
think,
just another person." I
yeah,
mean, me right over here.
it's just another cute silver fox.
Yeah.
Nothing fair. Yeah, I'm just kidding. No.
Uh-huh. Alright. Is Chop My Money still your favorite song? Chop my money. Chop
It's
my
not, but I
money.
do enjoy
Don't don't
chopping a particular person's money a lot. So yeah.
Right. That's so funny.
So jumping into the next question, what is a habit or pattern that took you way too long to break?
Habit
That
a
easier.
habit or pattern. I would say I probably still struggle with it now. What's the thing? Passive aggressiveness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like and what do you even how do you define passive aggressive?
So, like, you're not direct, you'll do actions or things to make someone else
Yeah.
kind of feel what they've done wrong instead of
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Hey,
but I won't
you
directly
did this
say it.
wrong and hurt my
Yeah.
feelings."
Yeah, I won't
Okay.
directly
Right.
say it. So
Yeah.
that's something that it is taken it's taken I think I'm better. I wanna say I'm better. Like, if there is
Yeah.
some I will vocalize it if it's really bad, but it's something that I always 'cause I don't know, maybe it's growing up as even though I have older brothers, but because they're significantly older than me, sometimes I
Mhm.
felt like I grew up as an only child. Well, not an only child, but, like, like, there was
Yeah,
so
'cause
much
the
like
age gap.
yeah, like, there was a large age gap, so I had to
Mhm.
that's part of why I had so many friends because I was like I didn't really feel like I had siblings.
Yeah.
But that's to say that I think because of that, I had to learn how to kind of self-soothe. And I think it also comes down to parenting and, parents do what they know and they know what to do, how to handle best. But
Yeah.
depending on the kind of parent you have, sometimes you cannot you passive aggressiveness is really the only way for you to get out what you're trying to say because you can't actually be aggressive and you can't actually be direct because in Nigerian culture, being direct comes off as being disrespectful.
Yep.
And so you then have to manage the way you speak in a way that doesn't really let you be fully upset or fully like,
Have a reaction that you
yeah,
want. Yeah.
have a reaction however you want, because
Yeah.
having a reaction that is not quote unquote respectful comes out as, oh, you're being
100%.
disrespectful. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah,
say
that's
that.
so interesting that you say that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what have you finally given yourself permission to want that you either struggled with or haven't given yourself permission to want?
Hmm.
And this could be any aspect of your life.
I don't know. Is there anything that I didn't give myself permission to want?
I don't know, maybe that's the first question.
I have
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What'd you say?
Oh, go
I have
ahead.
some for you,
Yeah,
actually.
go ahead.
I will say vulnerability.
Vulnerability?
Mhm.
Okay, explain.
Yeah, 'cause
I feel like in recording these podcasts and all of your networks, I feel like you've really become a lot more vulnerable because you are sharing so much of yourself and so much of
Mm.
yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like you've given yourself the permission to do.
Yeah, I think so yeah, there's an aspect of that that's true. I think that I people that know me, right, know me, but to the outside world, if you don't actually
Mm.
know me, there's a like, there's a
Mhm.
presentation that comes
Right. I
and
don't
I
know if
think
I agree with that at
but
all.
I don't think it's a false
I
presentation. I don't think it's a false
No.
Your
presentation.
happier
I
self.
I honestly don't think that that's true at all. I feel like, Chima, every conversation I've had with you, or if you've gone into
Yeah,
a
but
conversation
that
with someone.
like I said, you know me. You know
Oh, no, I'm saying even when you're talking to strangers,
okay.
you open up real like, that's why you're so friendly because you open up and you are vulnerable, like, you are 100% yourself. Like, I think that's why like,
But
I don't know, I mean,
maybe what Whoopi is
maybe
saying
on
makes
those
me
Sep-
vulnerable.
I'm separating the friendliness and like being open to like being
Yeah.
vulnerable and
And I think
sharing.
maybe what she's saying is like like for example, if you share something and I feel okay, this is a safe space for me to share as well, I'll share.
yeah,
I may not have done that in the past. It may have just been me empathizing and being like, oh, okay,
yeah,
well, I'm sorry that happened to you and that. And as opposed to like me being like, wow, that's actually, and to a degree, you have to be kind of like mindful of how you do it because you don't want to start comparing sob stories. But
right, right,
but I think that the vulnerability does help when somebody feels like not just that you empathize with them, but you actually maybe somewhat share a level of what they're feeling. So, yeah, so maybe that's what we'll be saying. I don't know, uh,
Exactly that.
but I think with vulnerability, ultimately, I think growing up, I always felt like vulnerability was a weakness, and it's not something that you want to lead with. Like you should always lead with strength and lead with
yeah,
like you shouldn't cry in front of people and, those kind of things. And I still, even till today, it's like always weird for me. Like when I start crying, I'll be like, oh, why are you crying? But but it happens. And I think that you just have to settle in it. So yeah.
All right, let's jump into the catch up. What's something that you've been through recently
Okay.
that you didn't even fully tell us and why?
I don't know if there's anything. I feel like you guys know most of the stuff now. I don't know if there's anything big. I think I don't know. I've kind of said it already in the beginning. It's just kind of that struggle of the in between. And that's
mm,
really where I'm at right now. It's like there's no distractions. There's no side things happening. Like I think I had a number of side things to distract me up until May 1st. And now May 1st is gone. So now it's
Yeah,
like there's nothing. So it's just like you're sitting in this like in between. And
yeah.
it's just dragging and dragging. But all that to say, it's kind of like what do you do with the time in the in between, and
Mhm.
how do you manage your moods, and how am I doing that? So I think that that's maybe what that is, and I think I'm at a place where I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time. Because what else are you gonna do?
Yeah,
But also just being mindful that honestly there are some days where you don't want to talk to anybody and you don't want to engage, and it has nothing to do with the other person, and it's whatever it is, like you just want
yeah.
to just be like
And be
chill
alone.
and
Yeah, yeah,
alone. And sometimes you want to have a pity party. And I will
yeah.
like on this hill, I will say like I think everyone should throw a pity party for themselves,
Yep.
like maybe once a month. Like
Dedicate some
to
time for being
yourself. Yeah,
miserable.
and I'm not saying
Yeah,
don't do it too
right.
often, but I think
Yeah,
once in a
yeah,
while, it's fine to
yeah,
just throw a pity party and like, woe is me and my life
yeah,
sucks, and why is this happening to me? And I'm this, like, and then when you're
yeah,
done, you're done. You get it out of your system and you move on.
yeah.
And then you go on and have brunch and put on makeup and be cute.
And yeah,
And
go do
and that's it. But I don't know. I've thrown myself a lot of pity parties the past year, so it's.
yeah. I mean, you're
And it may not even
yeah.
help anything. That's the funny thing. I don't think it really helps anything, but it helps you like get it out, if nothing else. So yeah.
I think it also helps with just kind of like realizing that, you know what, when good times happen, there will also be bad times. And then
Yeah.
like from the bad time, there's only going to be the next thing. The next
Yeah.
thing can only be a good time. Like
Yeah.
you may be in the valley for a little while, but like the next thing is only up.
Yeah.
So,
And I
like,
just and I
I don't
feel a big part of this honestly is comparison,
yeah.
and something that, like I try not to do, but it happens. Like, like.
Mhm.
And I just think about, oh, like this person who was doing this thing with me is now doing this, and I'm not doing. Like
That
you
yeah.
think about what other people are doing, and I told someone the other day, I was like, wow, like I maybe I need to come to terms with the fact that like my career in this field is actually done, and I need to move on
Mhm.
to something else and like apply the skills I've gotten in that field to this area and just do it just as well. But it's hard to like to say that and like come to that realization, especially when you put in all the like sacrifice. And I'm saying it as someone that only worked for like 12 years. So you can imagine people that
So,
work for 25, 30 years that
mhm.
have had the same situation of like, what am I going to do next? And this is who my entire identity is. So it's just,
Yeah.
so all that to say, I think that we just when people say take it one day at a time, it sounds so cliche, but it's really the only like what else are you gonna do? Like you're just
Right.
going to navigate life as it comes at you.
Mhm.
And like you're saying, Oshin, like there's some things that are working well and there's some things that are not working well. There's people that are excelling in their careers and doing amazing things, but they are looking for something or someone and they haven't been able to settle down or whatever it is,
Mhm.
or they have health problems, or there's
Mhm.
just so many things. I think the number one thing, honestly, is if you have good health,
Yep.
you're actually good. Like
Yeah.
you're actually good, and
Yeah.
good health,
I yeah.
a roof over your table, a roof over your head, food on your
Yeah.
table.
Yes.
It's like, what else are you looking for? We live in a society of wants and needs and bills, and
Mhm.
so you have
Yeah.
to balance those two things.
Yeah, the whole wants thing is really tricky and dangerous because, like, if you don't catch yourself, you can really go down a rabbit hole and it's only gonna negatively.
Yep.
Speaking of all of this, do you feel like you have been open and vulnerable enough when you are going through your hard times? And were you able to open up to us about that? Or do you feel like because, you have to put on this strong front of like everything's okay and things are fine, like, have you had to do that a lot, especially with us?
I think with you guys, I've been like half and half. I think I've been vulnerable here and there, and other times I just be like it doesn't really, it's not gonna change anything, for lack of a better word, and
Mhm.
it's really not gonna make me feel better. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point of wailing and sobbing? Not wailing and sobbing, but like being overly cherry about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's kinda like, what difference is it gonna make? There's only all you guys are gonna say is you're gonna say it's gonna be okay. You'll get something. Like that's what
Yeah.
people say. So
Yeah.
it's like what else is so it's nothing that I don't already know, I haven't heard. So there was really
Yeah.
no need for me to overshare it. It may be I mean, obviously the person that I most vulnerable and knows the like tears and sobbing is my husband. But it's, but even then, I'm trying not to do it too much with him because I feel like it's a lot. Like it's a lot to like hold because everyone also has their own shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's like
Right.
it's a lot to hold like your own shit and hold somebody else's at the same time. And but that's the person that signed up for it. So it is what it is.
Right. Right. So you've spent a lot of time in your career pouring into different communities, but who pours into you?
Anderson Cooper. I'm kidding. Who pours into me? I think my friends pour into me. You guys do that. I think my partner pours into me. You know, I think it just varies. Like I said, I'm lucky of I have a pretty good village of friends and people that check on you and see how you're doing and all those kind of things. So I think when it comes to like pouring into you, I don't know. I'm the person that believes that I don't think anyone can really do that aside from you. Not to the level that
Oh,
you would really need. Like, I think
100%.
if anyone is going to motivate you the most, it's yourself. Like, it has to be like an innate, intuitive thing that you are pushing yourself to get things done. Because if you're relying on other people, unfortunately, other people will disappoint you or could
Mhm.
disappoint you. They may not like even if
Right.
it's not intentional. Even if it's not intentional, right? So you really have to develop
Right.
that like innate, like that inner skill of, like I said, throw yourself a pity party when you need to, but when it's time to get shit done, get shit done. And I just think that that's ultimately for me that I've learned that over the past couple of years. Like I just have to, maybe it's part of the self-soothing thing. I just have to learn how to self-soothe and figure stuff out on my own to a degree. And, here and there. But yeah.
Yeah. What's the hardest version of yourself that you've had to sit with lately?
The hardest version. The version that doesn't have the answer.
Being in the unknown.
Yeah, I think it's just the version of like there's only so much you can
Yeah.
control. I mean, even
Yeah.
in life, there's only so much you can control, but I think that
Yeah.
there's a rhythm you get into when you have 9 to 5 and 5 to 9.
Well, I want you to think beyond work, right?
But
Like, I mean,
beyond
you've had
work,
a
no, but the
career.
reason
Like,
why I'm saying work wise is because I've had a lot more time to just not be working. So I have a
yeah.
lot of time with myself, right?
Yeah.
And it's figuring out even the things that you say you like to do you really like to do them? Or are you doing
Mhm.
them because they look
Wow.
good externally?
That's so
Like
deep. So
like
Wow.
what have you found?
so it
Yeah.
would be something like, for example, So for example, I started, I've been working out a lot more for the past year or whatever, and I started going to the gym and stuff like that. I don't like exercising. I'm not gonna lie. I
Mhm.
really don't like it. Like if I could not exercise, I wouldn't do it. But because it has health benefits and
Mhm.
they say as you get older as a woman, you need to build your muscles and all those
Mhm.
things. Right. So
Mhm.
it's all that to say it's like, okay, I have to take exercising and my health a lot more serious. Just being healthy, I think it's important. Not really the number on the scale, even though the number on the scale is very annoying, especially when it doesn't move. But it's really more about what are your numbers, like your blood numbers, like
Yeah.
what are your cholesterol, blood pressure, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like so for me, that's why I do it. But I think we always as we get older, and I think the gym is not like this aesthetic thing. Everyone's wearing cute gym
Yeah.
wear, and
Yeah.
everyone's going to the gym, and we're all doing this cute classes, Pilates. Oh my God, we're all Pilates girlies. No, like I just no, I'm not into it. I appreciate people that love the gym and go 2 or 3 times a day or whatever. I'm okay with my 3 times a week. But that's what I'm saying is like,
During the
I think
day,
no, but
like,
there
what
are
do you
people
mean?
that are like
Yeah.
really into gym culture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it's great for them, but I just feel like it's not something that I'm doing it because it's a health thing. I'm not doing it because I
You
just
enjoy it.
absolutely have to go to the gym,
Yeah.
like, so I would say that's probably one of them is just realizing that, look, I'm not a gym girly.
Like, I'm not a gym girl, but I have to do it because it's good
But I have to
for my
do it.
body,
Yeah,
and, I just have to suck it up and do it.
exactly.
But I will say this though, like, once you leave the gym, do you feel differently from when you
Oh,
first
yeah.
walked in the gym?
And I
'Cause
think that's the feeling
that
that you're chasing.
endorphin release is what
'Cause that's
I
the
am
feeling
just
you're chasing, right? Even
yeah.
when I do the, like, Les Mills body pump class, I'm telling you that before that class, I'm just, "Oh my god, I'm about to lift all these weights. It's gonna be an hour of just." But once the class starts, you just
Mhm.
get into it and you just do it, and when you're done, and you're like, "Oh, wow, that actually went by pretty fast." And I think one of the things with the gym is maybe the part of it is like you're with other people that are working out. So I find that when I'm in the gym, I actually work out harder than if I'm like at
Uh-huh.
home. Yeah, like if I'm at
Fun.
home or I'm just like walking on the treadmill, I might do a couple of miles and not really push myself.
Yeah,
But if I'm around other people that are working, especially if it's like an older person, like I think I mentioned to you guys the older Nigerian lady that's in my weight training class. And this
yeah,
lady's 70 years old. 70 years old and she's lifting, she's doing everything, she bends, she does everything. And I'm just like, that's like I want to be 70 and be able to do that.
yep. And that's a different type of motivation and
And that's a different,
inspiration.
yeah, exactly. And she said she wasn't always like this. Like she said, it
Yeah,
was just the past 2, 3 years that she started getting more into her fitness. So I think, that's maybe the motivation. It's not really because I just absolutely love it. But you're right. That feeling you get afterwards is pretty great.
yeah, yeah. Right. What does being rooted mean for a woman who is constantly in motion?
Who asked that question? I'm just kidding.
And I the names of the drafter.
I don't even know. The funny thing is I don't know if yeah. I think it just means let me pause. I think it means leaning into your community, leaning into your people, embracing the whatever situation you're in or the like just the state of where you are. Embracing that and just finding your gratitude bone. Because I
Mm,
think it's really easy for us to think about the things that we don't have as opposed to thinking about the things that we do have. And you'll see that when you put it on a list, you'll see that the things that you do have are much longer than the things that you don't have. So I think all of that to say being rooted for me right now is just keeping that in mind every time
mm.
and just remembering that I have community, I have a village, I have so much going on for me, and I also have so much to be grateful for. So those are all the things that frame it.
Love that.
Mm.
What does rising look like for you right now?
Rising, I don't know.
Or
I don't know what
eventually? Maybe
I think
even not right now.
eventually it would just look like being and I think this part is actually the hard part because I don't know if I will ever be like okay with wherever I'm at. Like I feel like
Mm.
I'm always going to want to do
Next
the
thing.
next thing. Like what's the next thing? And
Mm.
what's the next thing? And so I don't know if maybe rising for me is to figure out a way to just be okay with wherever you are and be satisfied in it and just enjoy and not to be mediocre obviously but just be
Be content.
satisfied, be content, like be content
Yeah. Mm.
with this and not constantly feel like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, or like this is the next thing to do, which is really hard
Yeah.
to do as someone that's always like I'm always trying to like figure out, oh, like 3 months from now, what are we gonna be doing? Or
Right.
this
Like,
month,
what's the next yeah, how do you
what's
get to the next
the
level?
next thing
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
needs to be done, but it's also like taking like a breath and just enjoying the contentment of now and
Yeah.
Mhm.
seeing where things unfold. But it's hard to do that, to be honest. So
Mhm.
I
It
don't
really is. Do you feel like our culture or like the Nigerian culture also has a big part to play in that? Because I feel like if you compare it to, let's say, non-immigrant individuals, right? Like not in their own specific countries, but like, for example, if they were to come to America, do you feel like you put a extra pressure, an extra layer of pressure on yourself?
yeah, for sure. I think definitely. I think there's the internal pressure, but there's also the external pressure. There's the pressure of feeling like you should be doing a certain thing at this point in your life, or you should
Mhm.
be making a certain amount of money. You should have a certain amount of money in your bank account. You should be able to do this, this,
Yeah.
and this. And I think there's also like the pressure of which as women, we all feel there's like different pressures that we feel, right? There's career pressure. There's the pressure of like, what's the next thing you should be doing as a woman? And I think, I don't know, like I think a lot of this stuff is us sometimes I don't want to say punishing is not the right word, but putting ourselves down or
Mhm.
us not really letting ourselves just enjoy where we are at. It's like we're constantly trying to figure out like, oh, we should be doing this. I should have been doing this at this point. Or I'm at this age, I should already have this. I should already have this.
Yeah.
And that's only because somebody else that you are looking at probably has it. And
Yeah.
I think that there's two things, right? It's actually okay for you to look at other people and if they have something you want it. I don't think that it's jealousy. I think it's just your desire telling you
Yeah.
what you want. But I
Mhm.
also feel like there's a slippery slope of constantly saying this is something that I should be doing at this point because there's so
Yeah.
many shoulds, but
Yeah.
sometimes like we're just where we are.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like I feel like when it comes to rising or if there's the question that you asked, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel we put a lot of pressure on ourselves
Yeah.
culturally, but also as women that are quote unquote high achieving, ambitious, all those things. We put all those things on ourselves. Cause I remember, and I probably said this on the podcast before. I remember I was listening to an episode of Michelle Obama's podcast, IMO podcast, or maybe it was something else. She was probably
Mhm.
speaking to somebody and they were asking her about like life and does she feel because women like we want to
Mm.
have everything, want to have the family, want to have the kids,
Right.
pets, we want to have the friends, we want to have all those things.
Yeah.
And she's like, and the person said, can you have it all? And she said, yeah, you can have it all, but you probably can't have it all at the same time.
Yep.
So it's now thinking about like the season that you're in, it might be the season that you're supposed to be in, where you're just focused on doing that particular thing. And then
Yeah.
the season will come where maybe that part of your life will take a back seat and this will be the main thing that you're doing. Because I don't know if you can do all of those things perfectly. It's probably unlikely.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's just something that I ruminate over sometimes.
Yeah. How do you take yourself out? Let's say you're on this like spiral, right? Or like you're on this thought process of like what do I want to do next? What do I do next? How do you bring yourself back to, you know what? I got this. Like what I'm doing right now is what I need to be doing. How do you bring it back to that?
I take a nap sometimes. A nice little nap fixes things. I
Yeah.
pray. There'll be times
Yeah.
where I'll just, and it's not even pray, like I'll get on my knees or anything. I'll probably just like
Yeah.
conversation, like I'm
And
just
close your
talking.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll just be like talking to God and
Mhm.
just being like, yo, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
like this takes too
There's
long.
a better
Could
one.
be that. I would say just to say like brunch. I think social stuff helps me too. I think that
Yeah.
when I feel down about stuff, I'll probably just be like, hey, you want to go do this? And I'll just reach out to
Yeah.
somebody and say, hey, do you want to go walk? Do you want to go grab brunch? Do you want to go do
Mhm.
something? Because I think me being outside and being around people
Yeah.
also helps my mood as well. So I would say those three things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, let's jump into the lightning round.
Okay.
So this is the part of the podcast where you just answer what comes to mind. First thought. We'll kick it off with the first question. So, biggest glow up of the last 2 years, internal or
Biggest glow up of the last 2
Glow
years?
up.
Did you say internal or external? Like I should pick one
Either.
or both.
Yeah. No, you can do that.
I
This
think
is easy.
externally, I mean, come on. It's
Your
just
wedding day.
so if you get
Wedding day, duh.
so-
I
but I don't even know if
mean,
wedding day was the glow up. I mean, I did look spectacular, I must say.
yeah. Dang.
But I think that was enhanced by makeup and hair and all those things. So
My God, just
like, oh my God, just accept it. Fine. I think that was I
yeah,
mean, but I think beyond the wedding day, I think that I don't know. I think I look good, you know what I'm saying? Glow up wise. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think for what I would say is like your confidence is next
yeah.
level too, right? Like from back in the day to now,
Yeah, I
because I
think
think it's
I'm
all
definitely a lot more confident, I think.
100%. Yeah. And
Um,
like just knowing what you want and what you're
yeah.
like, not for me.
Yeah, I think internally glow up. I don't know if there's an
Mhm.
internal glow up. I think maybe it's just also just realizing that not everything is about you.
Yeah. It ain't that serious. Life is,
And it's like not that serious. Like things are
yeah.
like ultimately like it's really not that serious.
Yeah.
There are some things that are, but but
Hmm. Right.
generally it's never that serious. And like I actually like I love tea. I love, a little chit chat, a little
We know.
gossip. Gossip's not the right word. I like tea, like a little chit chat. So
Gossip, just a little bit of gossip.
a little?
I like a
Gossip?
little like if somebody's like, "Let me tell you this." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what is it?" Like, "Come tell me."
Yeah.
I want to know that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. So that's I mean that kind of stuff is fine, but I think that ultimately for me my glow up has really just been I think it's been more internal than external to be honest, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Love that.
And it's just been like reflected externally.
Yeah,
You're
there you go.
exuding it. Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm just exuding the glow.
This is gonna be kind of gross, but also kind of funny. For $5,000, would you swallow hair from the shower drain?
My shower drain?
Sure. Yeah. Any shower. I don't care. I would never do 5,000 if that's
Yeah,
yeah.
5,000 is kind of small though.
I mean, that's
no,
enough.
Can you do 50? Can you do 50?
You guys think about it. Huh?
Can
I would not do it. I don't think I could. Could
For
you?
50 I would. For 5, I don't know if I would.
I don't know. I mean, I
How
don't know. Well,
Yeah, how
that's a
much
good
hair are we
question.
talking? Like a little
Yeah,
clump? Or are we talking
that's a
about like a
good
little
question.
string? Look, guys, we
money is a big motivator.
It
know what I'm
is.
saying?
It is.
Money's a motivator, and if it's just
Yeah.
hair, like, but then
It's
again,
just like
the
but
drain is
from the drain, and there's
yeah,
like
there's a
white
lot of other things going on, so I don't know.
everything about it. No. But I mean, hey, listen, for the right price,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and if I was under some kind of influence, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, definitely then. It'd be much more easier to
Yeah,
swallow.
yeah, for sure.
What's a hill you'll absolutely die on?
You're
Mm.
yeah, that was hard for me.
Mhm. This
I
is
think
hard
I
for a lightning round.
I think I said something about this earlier, but now I don't remember what I said. But I think maybe the one that I think how most people treat you doesn't really have anything to do with you. It has more to do with them.
That is 1000% accurate.
And I think that that's something that like I'm
Mhm.
learning
Yeah,
more so.
it's whatever they're going through in
Mhm.
Yeah,
their
it's whatever they're going through, however they have imagined like you to be, because no one really knows you fully, I don't think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
not even you yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I know myself.
That's the journey of life.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so I think that, but I think ultimately, like like if somebody is treating you a certain kind of way, obviously, if you've done something insane, then that's different. But I'm talking
Yeah,
about
Yeah,
just in
absolutely.
general. I think it has more to do with them than you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just
That's a good realization to have and also a hard one. Cause like, you
yeah,
always make it about yourself of like, "Oh my god, they did this
yeah, because
to me."
I've had a conversation recently where we were just having a conversation, and it was like this is not a personal, like this is not a personal thing for you.
Mm.
I literally kept taking everything personally.
Mm.
Even as he was
Oh.
saying it, he was like, this is not a personal thing. It's not a personal
Mhm.
thing. And I kept taking it personally. And he was like,
Yeah, because it's hard not to,
because
especially
it's
if it's
hard
coming
not
from a
to.
loved one.
Yeah.
Especially if it's coming from a loved
Yeah.
one.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Well, you have to think about it. Like there's so much that is not really
Yeah.
like it's about,
Yeah.
and I think also we are human beings, we are inherently selfish. So we
Mm.
always want things to be about us
100%. Yeah.
when it's really not. Yeah.
When it's actually really not even
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could instantly master any skill without trying, what would it be?
Swimming.
Swimming.
Oh.
Yes. Can
You said without trying. You said without trying. So
I mean,
I wish I
You're
could just
just
like
starting with.
jump into the ocean and just start swimming
and I
magically.
think that's the only way to do it. So let's do it. Or do a pool
We'll
first.
put a life jacket on you and then throw you.
No, they should float. That means nothing.
We've gotta start swallowed water.
Y'all have been around me almost drowning a few times, so let's not tempt fate.
But they, I
We
think,
should tell the story about Diana being sick.
yeah.
Wigs had to be saved. There was a lot going
You
on.
wanna tell us that story, Chioma?
No, that's okay. We don't have to. What's the next question?
What is the last photo in your camera roll?
Ooh. I hope it's something
Mm.
appropriate. Let's see. The last photo in my camera roll. It's actually a picture of me.
From your wedding?
Yes, it's actually a picture of me from the wedding. I don't know if you can see it, but I really
No.
like the
Yeah,
picture.
yeah.
Aw, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I had edited it because I thought it was really cute. There's another one, but I won't show it. But it's a picture. My partner was taking a nap, so I took a picture of him while he was napping, and which
Typical Chioma behavior.
of course,
Mhm.
yeah.
If your life was a TV show, what would the theme song be?
Wow, I don't know.
Think about it.
One song keeps coming in mind, but I don't even know if it's accurate. But it's like the Jill Scott song, "Golden," living my life like it's golden, living my
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
like that's coming to mind, but I don't even know if it's completely accurate. To be
What's the
honest.
song about? Like, what's the lyrics?
It's just like living your life as it
Oh,
comes, like
Like you're making the best of
yeah, you're
everything.
just
Your
making the
life is
best of whatever
golden.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, living like
mhm.
you're just free, you're doing what you want.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
maybe yeah, maybe that's it. Like I think maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
yeah, golden.
Okay.
Final question of the lightning round, unless Nausheen has one more. What is the silliest thing you've ever done?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I've done a lot of silly things, especially with no.
Let's get one.
Mm,
I think we didn't really share.
this is a long time ago. Remember when we went to New York and we stayed with Ugo
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that
and
was bad.
we lied that I don't even know if it's silly or just dangerous, but we
I think
lied that
yeah,
we had gotten mugged and
yeah.
he was like
For
really
context, it
concerned.
was
Yeah.
Nausheen and Chioma.
Yeah.
That was New York.
She didn't
in the early days of my
in our this is a long time ago, guys. We wouldn't do this now. This is like
so
15 years.
she like walked all the way from like Harlem to
We walked for a long time.
like
We
from
walked
Harlem to where? Like we
I don't know.
walked like
It was a lot of blocks.
we
It was like
walked for
30,
6
40.
hours that
Yeah.
day, and we were on the main highway, like, we were on the
I don't
bridge,
even know why we're doing that. But either ways,
and it was nighttime,
he was really worried about us.
and he was really worried about
And
us.
eventually we like Nosheen is like, this is Nosheen's idea. I'm just gonna say it. Nosheen was like,
Yes,
let's
it's
say
okay,
we
we
got
came
mugged.
here, okay,
Let's
but
tell them we
why?
got mugged. And I was like, why would we do that? And she was like, I don't know, it'd be fun. And I was like, okay, sure. So we
Yeah.
told him we got mugged, and then we had this whole story, and he was so worried. He was like, are you guys okay? We have to tell the police.
Like, he actually got mad at us when we told
And
him.
then eventually we're like, we're lying, and then he got really upset. I think he actually made us sleep on the floor.
He did. He actually made us sleep on the
Yeah.
floor.
So yeah.
That was
That was
too
pretty
funny.
silly. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
other things that I've done probably since then, but I don't know. That's the one that came to mind.
yeah,
But I feel like I should be sillier. I feel like I'm not silly enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
When did you wear? It's just growing up, right?
Yeah, maybe it's
yeah.
growing up, but I feel like I want to have like sillier moments. Like, you know how like now online, I've been saying like so much on this podcast and I hate it.
We wanna take a shot.
You know how
Right.
online women are into this, there's this new era of just being whimsy and silly, and everyone's just walking around and doing all these silly things. And I feel that we really shouldn't take ourselves that seriously a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Like we should try to have more fun, more things. And it doesn't have to be, our drug of choice is travel, but it doesn't have to be traveling. You can
right, right.
have a good time in your wherever you are and just have fun
Yeah.
and document
I think
yourself. And you don't have
yeah,
to document it, but you can if you want to. Like
yeah,
document yourself
yeah,
Right.
having a good time, and so
yeah,
sometimes it's also nice to look back on those memories and see, oh,
yeah.
fun doing this. And yeah.
That's why I do all the silly things that I do so that we have memories. You
Okay.
know? I feel the older that we are getting, the more we're starting to really understand, like, it really doesn't matter what a third person thinks about you. Because, like,
Mhm.
it really, like, we have grown up so much thinking about, oh, what is that person gonna think? Like, that person, you're never gonna see this person in your life again, maybe.
Yeah.
You know? And so, like,
And that person doesn't know you. And I think
right.
that's really what it is that sometimes the opinion of people that don't know us tend to matter a lot more than people that actually know us.
Yes. That is so facts. Yeah.
And you really have to think about, this person does not know you. This person doesn't know your day to day. They don't know enough about you to
Yeah.
form any kind of truthful opinion about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just what
And
it is.
to think that you are that important, that a third person is actually spending their time and their
Yeah.
mind
Space.
thinking about you. Like, like I'm not that important in
No.
anyone's life. They're all thinking about themselves of
Yeah,
like,
they're all
oh,
thinking about themselves.
really she's thinking about me. And I'm like, oh, what are you thinking about me? But really,
Yeah,
we're all so selfish, like you said, as humans. We don't have time to think about other people.
other
So
people. So
yeah.
it's an interesting realization, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should all be sillier more. That's really
I agree.
maybe that's what I'll call this episode. They should all be sillier a lot more.
I think that is a great call.
Yeah, but you definitely sparked some memories of
Mhm.
the silly moments, especially when we're traveling and there's just in the front seat,
Yeah, like
speaking the language
maybe
of
Nosheen is right. I think Nosheen, whether it's intentional or unintentional, you are always like kind of the silly
brings
comic
it to the group.
comic
Yeah,
relief of the group kind of
yeah,
person,
you are
whether
too.
it's I
Yeah.
am too, but I think mine is
Yeah.
unintentional.
I think mine is unintentional.
What are yours
Well,
like?
I mean, like, mine is like, I don't know, if it's like getting too serious, like, no one needs to be that serious all the
Yeah.
time. But no, like that conversation, having it in a taxi in Paris and
Oh my
trying to talk
God.
to a taxi driver in
Thinking you're
French.
speaking
Oh
French
my
when you're
God.
not.
I think we should do another trip to Paris, three of us.
I'm so down. I'm so down.
I think we should do Paris and one more city. And
I think we should do like, well, now that we're like grown and shit, like maybe we should do more of like a Italian countryside or like a
yeah, like
French
a
Riviera,
Tuscany.
a Tuscany or something like that.
Yeah, we should
You
like do
know,
like a Paris Tuscany trip. I think
I think so. I think like a
that would really
combination.
be
Yeah.
nice. Now that I know Whoopi's, she's a mom. She has to worry about where she's gonna keep her baby.
Be allowed on the trip.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing
No children.
Yeah.
All go otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so we can plan that offline, guys. But yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's been great to be on this podcast. Thanks for having us and,
Yeah, I hope
letting
you
us
guys enjoyed the interview process. I know some people were a little nervous,
some
you know,
people. But
but
wait, I have
I
one more
question.
my
oh yeah,
bad.
go ahead, go ahead.
So, what do you need from your people this
Mm.
season, us included? And actually, I have one
Actually,
more. Go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead,
Answer the
Chioma.
question.
What do you need
What do
from
I
us
need?
and your people this
Yeah.
season?
Like, how can we be there
Cash
for you?
money. I'm just kidding. No, I need I don't know. I need
Oh, I'm actually very curious on how you'll
no,
answer.
I'm trying to think about it because I'm trying to think if it's something that I don't already get.
Yeah.
I mean, you could reiterate it if you are already getting it.
No, I think presence and it's weird, but presence and space at the same time.
So you want us to strike a balance. Okay.
That space. And I say it in the sense of and maybe because of where I am right now. I feel like I'm in this like point where I'm trying to figure out a lot of different things and it's might be coming off as standoffish
Hmm.
and it's not my intention, I guess, but I think I'm in a place where I'm just trying to figure out things and
Mm.
figure out like this even like a new life of being a wife, even though it's not even a huge thing.
New.
Yeah.
But still.
The title.
And yeah, the title and then like all the expectations that come with that, not necessarily from him, but from like family in general, right? And
Hmm.
then, figuring out the next step of, life and everything else and, all the things that I want to do too. So I'm just in like a very not pensive, but just figuring it out. I'm in the in between. And so the requirement is just presence in the sense of obviously still doing our check-ins and saying what's up, blah, blah, blah. But if it's like quiet or whatever, letting like I don't want it to look like it's a situation of like I'm upset about something or I'm sad or I could be sad, but I
Hmm.
may not be sad. I may just not feel like being chit-chatty. And I think that that's just kind of where I am now. So yeah.
And that's fair. And that's fair. All right. So before we kind of to bring it all together and to put a bow on what this next season is going to look like, who is this season for, and who are you making it for? And it's the
The
same
season
thing
of this podcast.
of this podcast. Yeah. Like, who is this season for? Like, what is it that
I
you're
think
wanting to get out of it?
now you're asking me, I think I figured it out. I
Ooh.
think it is for the people in the in between.
I love
Mm.
that.
I think it's for the people that are transitioning in whatever ways,
Yeah.
whether it's life, whether it's career, whether it's relationship, whatever it is, just figuring out like what that in between looks like.
Hmm.
And also that it's okay to not know what it looks like. And it's
Hmm.
okay to, to just
Just
be,
be.
just be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps.
And I think that that's what this will be about. So thank you. Thanks for helping me figure that out.
Yay.
And I need to get some guests.
I'm not cool. Well, thanks for having us. We had a lot of fun interviewing
Thank you,
you.
ladies. And for people listening, y'all are probably just like, if this lady don't stop shoving these two girls in our faces all the time. Because everyone knows y'all. It's so funny because literally everyone is like, oh, we like, especially from the wedding, everyone's just like, yeah, we always saw them and now we've seen them in person. Like it's like
Yeah.
celebrity. And I'm like,
Yeah, I know, right?
like they're
Yeah.
regular people, guys. Like one of my family friends actually sent me a message when I don't know when I posted this. She sent me a message. She's like, "Well, I'm so glad I got to see them in person at the wedding." And I was like,
Oh, that is so sweet.
it's not Beyonce, it's not Rihanna, it's literally Woobie, but okay.
I know. So, it's so crazy, like, because even when we were hanging out with Woody's friends, and she was like, what did she say?
Lydia.
Lydia,
She was
yeah.
even though I don't know you, I feel like I
I
know
know
you
you
because I always seen you.
on each other's stories. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, even
Yep.
my
I
cousin said the
kind of,
same thing. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's funny. But yes,
I
thanks for
love that.
interviewing me. I hope you learned something new.
We did. We actually did. Like, I learned how to be a better friend for you in this in between period. So,
Aw. And what about
Hmm.
me? Before we end, let's flip
mhm.
it the other way. Like, how can I be a better friend to you both?
Ooh, you go first.
Of course, put it on me. Honestly, keep doing what you're doing. I really don't
Strong
have
guy.
feedback for you.
Are you being
Yeah.
are you being a diplomat right now?
Yeah, I think she is.
The amount of times we said balance on this podcast, balance is what works for me. It's like being there when needed, sometimes showing up unexpectedly, and then also providing the space. I think that's the best thing for me right now, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I can be a little needy as a friend. So like I'm also going through some stuff, as you know. So just kind of like, yeah, you're in the in between, but also recognize that your friends are also might be in between. And sometimes when you're having a pity party by yourself, maybe your friend would want to join and throw a pity party together.
Okay, so it sounds like you wanna have some joint pity parties.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're going through our own stuff. It's different, but still, like, the feelings are kind of similar, you know? And Whoopi can just
Same
be like a
kind of
spectator. Yeah, join a pity party if she wants to.
Maybe I'll cue in the music.
There you go.
you can give us the soundtrack. No, that's fair, that's fair. You were saying something else, though. You were saying,
How we show up as friends for each
yeah,
other
showing up
and
as friends.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, just, like, I think just kind of being there and maybe thinking, like, oh, I'm going through this thing, but also, like, my friend's going through this thing, and just kind of, I don't know, sometimes to be sad together also has some sort of like, it kind of makes you feel better that you're
It
not
sounds like
alone.
it helps you.
No, I'm saying like you're not, yeah, yeah, me. Well, we're talking about me, right? Like I thought,
So that's
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I feel like sometimes being sad together is nice, and sometimes what being in the sadness together and then coming out with like, well, you know what? Tomorrow is gonna be a better day, and like tomorrow we're gonna get through this. So like me and my sister, we do that a lot, So like I'll be like, oh, I'm having a shit day, and she'll be like, oh, what happened? And then like we'll be in it together, and then like we'll come out of it together.
Right.
It almost feels like you're never really alone because a lot of times you do that by yourself because again, everyone's going through their own thing. So you don't necessarily want to put a lot of it. But every now and again, it's nice to know that you
Have
and
people that
yeah, and like
yeah.
just, someone who you could really just be like, man, this life sucks right now,
Yeah,
So
yeah. And the funny thing, I
yeah,
don't
so
even know if, like, you saying life sucks, like, I don't even know if life's like, I think
I mean, you know what I mean, like in that
I know what
moment.
example.
Yeah, like not
yeah,
in general. I mean, like
but,
God,
like,
super
in the
blessed. Thank
certain
you for
aspects, yeah.
everything. But
Yeah.
like, like there's some moments like that's why we throw a pity party, right? Because just like, oh, this sucks, right? So
That's
yeah,
fair,
I
that's
mean,
fair. I do think that, just to round up, I feel friendships should evolve, and I think that
hmm
that's something that, like, it's like any relationship, if you're not
yeah,
watering it or making sure that and that doesn't even require like everyday check-ins or anything like that, but just making sure that the person is okay and that you all still have like things will evolve, right? Things might change.
yeah,
You could not be as close as you used to be. You could even get closer. But I think that
hmm
it's just more about the person knowing that you're always in their corner, like no matter what. It's
yeah.
ultimate.
Yeah, but I think also, like, being intentional about it, because it's one thing to say it, and then it's another thing to actually be there and show up for your friends, because we can say all day long, "I'm in your corner," but then, like, you saying it and you're not actually, like, physically being present, even through phone, text, whatever, right? I think it's different. I think you have to be intentional. We as humans are evolving every single day, so it's only natural that our friendships would evolve, but I think it's like asking, like, the conversation we had the other
Yeah, I
day.
think we should make it a thing, maybe even once a year, how we just asked each other, how should we show up for you as a friend?
Yeah,
I think it's a really important
I think
question that we
so.
should incorporate into our friendship and not like do it regularly where it becomes stale, but
Yeah.
at least once a year, kind of like a check in.
We incorporate into our
Yeah,
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 exactly,
that would
right?
be the best place
Because
for it.
because I think it's so important. Because even the conversation that me and Whoopi had not too long ago, I think it brought us to a different realization of like, hey, what does it mean to be a friend? And how and again, like how can
In this
she be there for
season.
me in this particular thing that I'm going through? And how could I be there for her? Right. And then also being open and honest about like, hey, you could do a little bit more of this. Or
Yeah,
like, hey,
yeah.
you could do a little less of this, right? And then taking that not so much personally, but to make our relationships better
it's like, oh,
because
this is what you need. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
something that you said
yeah.
where when it's quiet, sometimes just let it be. It's
Mhm.
not you having an issue with us, it's just that you need that moment with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah, I agree. What I struggle with though is like I don't never not want to be there for y'all. So it's like if it is the quiet moment or the quiet space, if I don't ask, I'm not
how
gonna
do you
know,
know? Yeah,
right? So
back
like I
to
rather
balance.
right. So I rather ask and you be like, hey, I just need space.
Right, right.
And this is something that like me and Ronnie do a lot too, right? Because like she's my sister, but it's very much a friend sister relationship
Mhm.
where it's just like how can you show up for the person that you're showing up for? Not how you want to show up, but how they need you to show
How
up.
they need you to show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That right there. Because it's different. Not all of us need each other in this.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that note, this is fun. Should I take over as a host now and say thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the episode? I hope you guys learned.
Yeah.
I hope you
Let's
learned.
continue to stay rooted. And I said, let's continue to stay rooted and rise together.
Exactly, exactly. That's. But thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed our season opener. We'll catch you on the next episode. Take care. Bye.